What's shaking, people? It's your boy Doom Killer HD back with another Marvel's Avengers video. Sit back and relax, you are now rocking with the best. And today we're discussing Hawkeye versus Hawkeye and what's the biggest differences between them. But before we get started, if you like what you see and you like what you hear, make sure you Hulk smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the notification bell. That way you never miss an upload. Let's get right to it. Since the announcement of Hawkeye, there's been a lot of speculation about Clint being a Kate clone, or perhaps not as well crafted. But after being able to unlock all of his skill set and level him up, create builds that complement Clint's unique playstyle, it's safe to say Clint is not a Kate clone. In fact, aside from the obvious that they both have a sword and bow and arrows, their fighting styles are quite different. Let me break it down for you. Let's start with arrow types. Razor arrows. Yes, they both have the standard single shot razor arrows, but once fully charged, they both do completely different things. Kate's fully charged razor arrow becomes her disruptor arrow, which applies a disruption buff to any target hit with the arrow. The debuff lasts for 6 seconds and has increased the range critical attacks by 25%. Now, Clint's fully charged razor arrow becomes his Deadeye arrow, which enables him the ability to mark an enemy by targeting them with an aiming reticle. Now, the longer the enemy is targeted, the bigger the reticle gets. That's pretty cool. It essentially becomes a heat-seeking arrow with max crit damage. Scattershot versus cluster arrows. Now, Kate's scattershot arrows fires up to 5 arrows in a short range horizontal fan. Now, the damage from these arrows are extremely effective on targets at a close proximity. Now, with the fast rate of fire and the ability to charge them, these arrows are Kate's most effective close range arrow. Now, Clint's cluster arrows are 3 energized arrows that stagger enemies and deal large amounts of stun damage. That makes it easier to get takedowns. But if you fully charge the cluster arrows, they become tripwire arrows. Now, tripwire arrows damage anything they come in contact with, as well as knocking them off their feet. Now, they're not as fast as Kate's scattershot arrows, but they affect way more enemies. Moving on to explosive arrows versus pulsar arrows. Now, Kate's explosive arrow is equipped with many explosives with high impact and can stagger enemies. It's pretty much like C4 on a stick with a lot of boom. Those things are pretty powerful, and they have a good AoE, area of effect, so they're pretty dope. Now, Clint's Pulsar Arrow is equipped with a Pulsar explosive charge. Now, it sticks to enemies and surfaces that can detonate or they'll explode over time. Fully charging a Pulsar Arrow also pins enemies to the floor or walls, and they'll remain there until the charge is detonated. They also build energy after being fired. Now, when the light turns red, it causes a double explosion upon detonation. I mean, it's clear as night and day, guys. I mean, they're not clones. It's obvious that one was based off of the other, just like a master-Padawan relationship should be. I mean, Kate should have some of the abilities that Clint has because Clint taught her a lot of stuff. So, yeah, but they're completely different. I mean, one has a lot of speed and the other has a lot of power. Traversal and melee. I mean, as we all know, Kate has the ability to teleport, which she uses in combat to get in close or to retreat, just to get her footing. And Clint, on the other hand, has standard traversal and a completely different set of melee combos, which he infuses with his short-range arrow attacks. They're different, guys. Their superheroics are completely different. They're not the same. We can see this now, right? I mean, we're seeing this eye to eye, right? With all that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, make sure you like the video, With that said, laissez-les bon temps rouler, which means let the good times roll. Peace out, people.